I'd mentioned last week that Marquise Aiken was out for the year. It looks like he saw another specialist. He's going to try to go and wait till the end of the season and have that surgery. Whether he can or not, we won't know. But if you see him out there today, that's what the plan is. So that's good for us, and hopefully he can go. As you know, we got a great challenge in Louisville this week. You know, I had the opportunity to work with Charlie Strong for 3 years. I got great respect for him as a coach. He's done a nice job with that program, and he'll have them well prepared, so it's important that we do the same. They're an excellent football team. You know, they're playing two quarterbacks. They got Bridgewater, who was there as a true freshman that was there in the spring, and Stein got hurt a little bit in that Kentucky game. The kid went in and did well. They also got Victor Anderson, the tailback that was Rookie of the Year in the Big East 3 years ago, was playing well for him. And defensively, being around Charlie, they're no different this year. 50% of the time, they're going to bring pressure, and that's what they're doing now. And so we got to be prepared to make sure we can handle pressure on Saturday. But that's where we are.
What's the plan? You know, Aiken can't go.
If plan if Aiken can't go is the same thing we did Saturday. I mean, we got to go roll Delvin, and you know Sparrow went in and played well Saturday. He played really well, and he's got to continue to play well. You know, with some of the, you know, Jeremiah Taylor may have to go in and play some three technique also, and Trevor Black some three technique, and but we'll manage. You know, we rolled Delvin, Bull, and Sparrow were the three guys we rolled in there on Saturday, and I was pleased with the way Sparrow played.
Any chance of Chuck
No.
Because you've seen a lot of Teddy Bridgewater.
So he's an excellent player in high school. He's very athletic. He can throw it. He can run it. And you know, it looks like they're trying to ease him into some, you know, a little bit. But Stein got hurt Saturday, which pressed him into more reps and snaps, and the kid did very well. You know, they also play the other big quarterback. It's also a tailback in that Wildcat formation. It creates some issues for you. So he's also a good player. Number 10.
You don't see that much. It was all the rage. That formation was all the rage there for a while, and it's kind of died out, hasn't it?
Yeah, it still is with Louisville a little bit. I mean, I got a kid who rushed for well over 100 yards on Saturday. And he played tailback and was in that Wildcat set. So he's a big guy that we have to be able to tackle.
But otherwise, yeah, it doesn't seem like
Doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem to be as much.
bad.
Mm-hmm.
How do Teddy Bridgewater and Rakeem Cato kind of compare?
You know, they're very similar, and as far as they're both freshmen, they both, you know, can make all the throws. I think the one thing that Bridgewater has over Cato at this point, he was there for spring ball, and that does make a difference. And you know, so you know, he's probably about 3 months ahead of him as far as the learning curve because he also has spring ball. But he's next. They're both excellent players, good young prospects.
Again, you face another top 25 defense in Louisville.
Right.
You guys are getting used to these by now.
Unfortunately, we are, but that's good. You know, Charlie's does a good. One thing that Louisville's defense has been able to do is be able to stop the run. They've done that well, and I think they're giving up like 271 yards per game or something. Charlie's done a good job with that defense. Like I say, they're constantly coming after you and bringing pressure. Over 50% of the time, they're bringing somebody. So you know, we got to do a good job in preparation this week to make sure we can pick up all their blitzes.
Along those lines, what have you got to do to get your running game started up again?
We just got to block them a little better. I mean, we got to, you know, it wasn't just our offensive line. You know, our quarterbacks got to make some better reads at times and do some things. But, you know, we just have to, you know, we got some issues we need to clean up. And, you know, to be honest with you, the offensive line blocked, you know, Virginia Tech a little better probably than I thought they even would at times. And, you know, we just got to get better and we got to go to work every day to get better as a football team because, you know, I've said it 1,000 times, but it's true. We can't become one-dimensional, and we did that Saturday.
On the running backs too?
No, it's on all of us. It's on, you know, it's the entire offense, and we have to go out and get better.
That's one thing Cato was talking about yesterday is he's still trying to figure out when to give, when to hold, and he's still trying to work that with him.
Well, absolutely. I mean, he's got to, you know, he's got to get better, and he's a young guy that's learning, and unfortunately, there's some learning, growing pains we've got to go through with him. But he's got to get better quick because we don't have. I mean, we've got to. You know, every week we got a new challenge that he has to help us in certain areas, and he's got to speed up that learning curve.
Talk about your connections with Charlie Strong. How far you guys go back?
Charlie's great. You know, Charlie, we go back a long ways, but having actually working with him for 3 years, you know, Charlie's a guy that deserved to be a head coach for a long time, and I was happy and proud of him when he got that job, and he'll do a tremendous job. Him and his wife Vicky are both, you know, really good friends of Diana and myself, and he deserves everything he gets.
How often do you guys talk with each other?
Not as much in the last month or so because we're playing each other, but quite a bit. Yeah, Charlie's a good friend.
Well, working on the same side of the ball as him in Florida, what can we expect out of that defense that Louisville?
They're going to be very, very aggressive. He was when he was in Florida. He's and like I said, prior to he's going to come after us. Especially with a young quarterback. I think a lot of people in the back of their mind, they think they could put pressure, and now at times on Saturday it hurt Virginia Tech. The pressure hurt them a little bit there towards the end of the half because Cato made some things happen. But Charlie's not going to change. I'm sure he's going to bring pressure. He's very aggressive in everything he does, including special teams.
Talking to Cato, he seems to assume he's going to get blitzed every week.
I'd say he's probably right, Doug. I would guess.
I don't know about the staff you're on there for. I think a lot of these guys have gone on to other places and they're being successful. Did you kind of pick up on how talented the staff you were on there when you were there?
Well, he didn't. I know Dan Mullins at Mississippi State's done well a year ago. Had of course Dazio's at Temple's done a nice job. And Charlie at Louisville. So there was some really good. Greg Madison's now the D coordinator at Michigan. That was a good defensive staff we had. Chuck Heater's the D coordinator at Temple right now, who's leading the country in total defense. So that was an excellent staff, and I was just happy to be part of it.
So what were your impressions of Jermaine Holmes' first start?
I thought he played well. I thought he went in there, and he didn't always know where he's going, but he goes there and makes plays. And it's like, I think there's two areas, Chuck, and, if you got to coach the heck out of a linebacker, chances are you don't have one. If you can point him in the right direction, get him lined up, tell him to go make plays. It's kind of the same thing at running back. Get a great tailback. You don't tell him which cuts to make. You just get him lined up and let him go make plays. And I think Jermaine, he's going to be an excellent player for us.
With Holmes in the middle, even Tyson the outside, I think he held up.
Tyson's battling some things right now with some injuries, and but he's, Tyson does a good job of getting our defense lined up. And the problem with Tyson is he has a hard, he can't go in and play 70 or 80 snaps. He just can't do that. We got to get Tyson out of there some and get Kellen and some of those other guys in there. But Tyson's a good, provides great leadership in there, and he helps get those guys lined up.
Let's say he helped, was able to help Holmes on the field, was he not?
No, he does. He does. He helps Holmes on and off the field. He does a great job with him. Anything else?
Any progress on Hunter?
We're still, Chuck, that's the deal that, those they do those surgeries on that meniscus. There's a certain date that they give to when they can come back, and we're still a couple weeks away with that. Problem you got with that is if you go back too early and tear that meniscus again, you can't repair it. So the thing we have to do is I'm not going to put that kid in jeopardy where we're going to ruin his career and bring him back too early. So we'll make sure that he's good to go when he does come back.
Well, is Rouse's back again?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
Can Demetrius Evans come back this year?
Yes. At some point. Yeah.
What about Craig Wilkins? What happened there?
He's banged up. He should be okay though. He's fine.
I was looking back at that 2-minute drill that Cato executed so well. Obviously, you'd like to see that kind of offense. Like you can't run that all the time, but what do you kind of reevaluate how often you get into that?
Virginia Tech at that point had given us some zero coverage and some max blitzes, and Cato ended up finding, got the ball to the right people. We hurt them a little bit with pressure. They were pressuring us at that point, and we came back out in the second half and tried to get into some other up tempo, and it didn't quite go as smooth as it did there in the first half. But we have to continue to do that. We have to continue to try to go up tempo and mix some things up to try to get him going and get our offense going.
Talk about getting Troy Evans involved in the offense. He didn't touch the ball on offense last year.
We need to. I mean, he's a good player, and the one thing with kickoff returns with him and Booker both back there, I think that gives us a spark back there, and that's one part of our kicking game that's been really good as far as helping us with field positions. But you're right, we need to get Troy Evans involved because he is a playmaker. And if you got a guy on offense that can make plays, we got to get the ball in his hands.
I know last year about consistency issues with Dobson. It seems like this year he's kind of bringing it down every week, 4 touchdowns the last 3 games.
Yeah, he's done a nice job. He's been more consistent as far as making plays. But that's what good players do, and we need him to be a good player every week because he's one guy that we have that can go make plays on that offense.
How does that help a young quarterback?
Well, it helps tremendously. It helps tremendously when he got a guy, helps his confidence and Aaron's done a nice job. He's got to continue. He's going to be a really good player.
you go into this thinking about which quarterback's going to play for them, does it matter?
You know, I think Charlie has come out and said, correct me if I'm wrong, that Steins is still their starter. He's not going to get beat out because of an injury. But I would guess, I don't guess, I know we'll see both of them. You know, they played them both all the time. Bridgewater, again, went in and did a nice job at that Kentucky game. And so I'm sure we'll see Stein, but I'm sure we'll also see Bridgewater also. We'll prepare for both. And there's not much difference. They don't change things when either or are in there.
It's a team where the tight end has emerged as the weapon on pass game.
He's big, too. He's about 6'7", 6'8", can run Chichester, and he's athletic. And he's, you know, they not only do they play him as an attached tight end, but they'll flex him out. And so at times, you know, you think they're 11 personnel, but there'll be 10 personnel as far as alignment goes with 4 wides because they'll flex him into space because he can run. He's a big target.
What about some particular defenders, the Heyman kid?
For-
Jumps out of Louisville.
Oh yeah, they're good up front. I mean, they're athletic, big guys, and the linebacker's Big East Player of the Week a week ago, or this past week against Kentucky, and you know, their one corner now is Bushnell, who's with us at Florida. He was at Florida when I was there as a corner, went to a JC and came back, so I know he's a really athletic guy that can block kicks, and he's now their starting corner. So, you know, they've got athletes at each, you know, and Charlie's done a nice job recruiting, and but they got some players on that defense that can run.
Coach, how has this stretch been on the team? Now, you knew coming in with West Virginia, Virginia Tech, Louisville.
Yeah, and we knew coming in that, you know, we got to embrace it. I mean, we knew that. I mean, you know, there wasn't any. I mean, we had about a 5 or 6 in them, and the following week doesn't get a whole lot better. The thing is, you know, Louisville's had a week off, and Central Florida's got a week off, and Rice has a week off prior to us. Unfortunately, we don't have any weeks off, and I must upset somebody when the scheduling gods or something, but that's just the way it is. I mean, we're going to embrace it. We got to go, and we can't do anything about it. So we just got to prepare every week and go out there and get better every day in order to meet the challenge we have ahead of us.
Charlie tended to recruit the same schools, same areas down there?
Charlie had recruited South Florida at times, but you know, when we were together at Florida, I recruited South Florida, and Charlie recruited more Central Orlando in that area. But he's well aware. A lot of the kids that he's gotten on that Louisville team, he's done really well in South Florida. I know Bridgewater was from Miami Central, which is about a half mile from Bridgewater's from Northwestern, which is about a half mile from Central, where Cato and those kids are from. So his starting left guard's a true freshman from Central, where Cato went to school. So there's a lot of kids that Charlie has gotten out of that Miami area but a lot of the kids he got this past year was from that Miami, South Florida area.
Kato State went against Bridgewater about 4 times in high school. Did you ever see any of this?
Saw him on tape. I didn't see him live. I don't think he ever lost to him, did he?
I think not the end of his career, I think.
Yeah.
Should have played up.
Yeah, but they're both. Those two, actually, Northwestern, Central are two of the better programs in South Florida, and they're constantly battling each other. That's for sure. They're good games. Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.